was also critiqued by philosophers like Berkeley, but also scientists like Christian Huygens, for example, on the empiricist ground as well. Because obviously we can't observe a space. This cannot be observed. And all that we observe is the relative change or displacement or motion of two bodies, for example, or two things, or two or more than two things, or observable things. Therefore, if we observe two things in motion, we observe two, A and B, in motion, and if we claim that as Newtonian would, that one of them is really moving, so this is stationary, but this is moving relative to this. So in a sense, this is moving as well, because if it's the change of distance is involved. But if we say that it's only B which is really moving, or it is moving relative to absolute space, for example, then this is to pass beyond the bounds of empirical observation. And empiricists like Berkeley and even scientists like Christian Huygens and Leibniz, or another philosopher I mentioned last time, they critique Newton's notion of absolute space and Newton's notion of change in motion in terms of empiricism, in terms of going beyond the bounds of empirical science. So we didn't really need Einstein to critique or develop a critique of Newton's notion of space. And if the motivation for the notion of substance was to explain change in motion, and if we can't now explain change in motion with reference to absolute space in which substance exists, then obviously there's no use for the concept of substance from the point of view of explaining change in motion. Okay. And Russell is making a similar sort of argument with reference to Einstein's theory of relativity.